Cop Block Radio is filmed live in secret locations around this country. All co-hosts are innocent until being proven guilty in a court of law. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, how you doing, Severin?
This is
Been
Severin
a,
Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block,
and this is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block.
and
So
we are
we've got
here tonight to bring some truth, maybe some drama, and some fun. It's going to be a good show.
absolutely. And now, guys, we have a lot of fun stuff that we're able to do. We've had some technical upgrades, so our professionalism is still going to be at the same level as it always is. So don't worry about that. We will have glitches like you guys are used to and making fun of, but we now have ourselves a call-in line, so if you've got some stuff to say, you can call us. It is 872-COP-BLOCK. Just take the O out of block. So it is 872-267-2525. Our lines are going to be open all night long. Can't wait to hear from you. So, Severin, did you have any interaction with police this weekend?
I always have interaction with police. My life revolves around interaction with police.
That's kind of a loaded question this week, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, cop lovers. It's always something. It's always some kind of drama in the cop block world. We're the villains. We're the Lex Luthor. We're gonna bring it all down. But yeah, we had some interesting encounters this week. We got a gift basket from Adamo Freeman, co-founder of CopBlock.org, that included these lovely thin blue line flags. And we actually have a whole segment we're going to discuss these flags in a little bit around the topic of the gang mentality later in the show. But our contact with police was, I don't know. I don't know if it was a good cop or if it was our presence or what the situation was, but she let these homeless guys go after surrounding their car with 3 freaking cop cars. I don't know what the purpose of showing that much force when they were not planning on doing anything, but I guess they wanted to be prepared because it was a girl cop, and she was alone to take on this homeless man and his family who were standing in a parking lot with a sign that said he was willing to work to help feed his family.
The danger.
Yeah, I feel so much freaking safer. But that was a cool experience, though, because it wasn't so much the stop itself that really stood out to me. It was more of, like, we had met up. You were there, Matt. We met up with your other buddy from Lee Heighton, Scott from the Oath Accountability Project, and Rick from Allentown Cop Block. We were all together, and we just, on a whim, just went out. Like, it wasn't like it was pre-planned, and we caught a stop. And the way that we were so on point, because we're all semi-professional at this, we were just
semi-professional. Semi-professional.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a professional cop blocker. We're a semi-professional. In other words, we've done this enough times that we're no longer fumbling for what we're looking for when we're pulling out. We're prepared. We're ready to go.
Because you always have to be skilled at the pull-out. Just let that be known.
Oh,
but yeah, it was quite an interesting little event there because as we've said before, Severin went out and he got himself this police scanner, and sure enough, it was kind of dead in the sense of what we were looking for all day long, and we had actually been over and seen these homeless guys out there earlier in the day. So when that call came through over the intercom, I mean, we instantly knew exactly where it was. And the funny thing is that police were actually in that parking lot doing an event, the whole day. We were on the opposite side of town, and it took us about 17 minutes to get to the scene. And sure as shit, don't we show up before they have any interaction with who these people.
I couldn't figure this out though. How, all we can do is ponder how this happened. But they had an event happening in that very parking lot where half of those cops that showed up were at originally. They were just standing around. The event was over with. Why did they wait for that third cop car who wasn't part of the event to come, circle the lot 3 times to try to shake us away, and then go down there? Like, something was really weird about that call. I don't know if they were trying to bait us to come there or what was happening, but it just seemed like, I don't know. It seemed like they had plenty of time to react to that, and they waited till we got there.
Normally I would say they wouldn't know that we were on patrol, but something tells me that the vehicle we were in was a little too inconspicuous for us not to be immediately known what our intentions were. I'm actually going to see if I can't pull up a uh, a photo of that for everybody to see.
What, my car with the
Yeah,
flag?
your car. There's a you have that video on Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
Yes, with the flags though. Yeah, I will share that. I have my car has large decals. First of all, let me say hello to Josh. What's up, Josh Hotchkin from
Josh.
HotBlock.org contributor and writer on numerous places. He says he has some audio issues. He sent me a message a little while ago, and I guess he's still trying to figure it out.
Oh no. Hey Josh, I bet you it has something to do with the fact that you've got an external headset on. So go up to the cog at the top and just go ahead and make that change. You should be set.
I think he said he's done that. He's having issues. He thinks he might have a virus on his computer because his audio is going crazy on him.
No bueno.
Yeah, if you also right mouse click on the volume for your main computer, and you can go into playback devices, you can mess with those. Try to see which lights up when you're talking, and that'll tell you which one to select as your main one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the professionalism that we were just discussing.
Well, while you're getting that together, let's finish up with what was going on in the parking lot. Where did we leave off? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked for a second.
Well, we were talking about the fact that we had. Sorry about that. I need to turn off the audio completely on that video because it's loud as hell. And we are going to go ahead and for the viewers, we are going to show you the car we were riding around in. So, for anybody who can see this, it is Severn's vehicle.
Sides.
And you can see
decals that say Cop Block Patrol on the side of the cars. And my bumper stickers are very fluorescent in the back with the LRN logo and the Cop Block bumper stickers. And what really strikes me when you first see the car is the flags hanging out both the back windows.
Yeah, right?
Down. Upside down, no less.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop it there because I don't want to throw your license plate up on the Google for all the haters to see.
I don't care. Let them all see it. I'm sure that they've watched that video 10,000 times to analyze it to figure out what my license plate number is. Have at it, guys. It's a freaking license plate. It's nothing you couldn't get if you weren't behind me on the road. So,
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, there he is.
Yes.
Wow. That's like 3 weeks worth of troubles I just saw right there.
It's always when you're under the wire when you actually figure it out.
Yeah.
I remember the first week back with the soundboard. Ian was literally on the phone with me 3 minutes before airtime because the sound wasn't properly hooked up. And as we're about to go on the air, he's like, "All right, we can hear you. We're good." Nothing like getting ready beforehand. But what's up, Josh? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Well, just discussing our police encounters for the week. We had a mutual one. Have you gone out cop blocking at all this week?
Yeah, I was over the weekend. I was down in Burlington for the Autumn Steel protest and had some interactions there. So not too much.
Matt,
but
are you able to mute that Facebook?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that right now.
All right, go ahead. Sorry about that. So Birmingham.
Yeah, Burlington, Iowa. They were having their Steamboat Days festival, and Five Finger Death Punch were going to be taken to the stage at 8, so we went out before with signs and flyers and T-shirts and stuff. And we found out the flyers are great. We were able to connect with people in ways that we hadn't in past protests just by having something to give them.
Well, we're gonna hear all about more of that when we come back from the commercial break, as well as some stories exclusively from the writer himself, Josh Hotchkins. We have some great ones coming up tonight on Cop Block Radio. We'll be right back. And we're out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we have your Oakland story tonight to talk about, Josh.
God, I love
Sweet.
that story.
And you did this probation officer story, didn't you? Or no, I'm sorry, you did the tasering of the woman.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, dude, you don't have the video in that.
Yeah, the video for that is not in your story.
Oh, really? It was. It must have gotten taken down, the copy that I had in it.
Yeah, I need a copy of that story so we can play the video of it on the show,
I should
or not the
actually
story, the video.
Oh. I have a copy of it in the show notes right now, just so you know.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's the Facebook permalink.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
My Lehigh Valley Cop Block version.
Motherfucker, that means I gotta go back on Facebook, and it is just my Facebook is exploding right now.
It always does when you're doing something else on your computer. I did some writing today, and I just had to fucking close the window down so I could get it done.
Yeah,
Well, I have
point
I have Scott on one hand telling me that nobody can do anything but a cop with a license plate. I've got Amanda talking to me about Andrew, about him coming on because he wanted to do something.
Okay, he's welcome to join.
Yeah. So she's hitting him up real quick. If anything, we'll try to bring him in at like around the 11:06.
All right, that works. We have to hit on the 11:06 story, and then our discussion we have to hit on. But other than that, it's all open. Just
So why don't we do like the last segment, the 10:47 segment?
you don't want to. I don't want to miss that video, dude. That cop stomps right on his face.
I know we have such a packed show.
This is crazy. This is actually hard because that.
I know. Normally we have like some filler shit that we can bump.
This is a discussion for a guest.
We can bring the guest in for the discussion.
Why don't we? All right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we bring him in?
Well, let's make sure that we have him first.
Okay.
Amanda.
If he is available, bring him in during the long break at 10.
Okay.
We'll come in, and if we need to, we can do stories with him. He's awesome, dude. I'd love to have him on for half the show if he's available. He's like a monster out there with his activism.
Right.
You're busted.
Shoo shoo. Jesus with the frickin' shit, I need a link. Just give me a heads up when we're about ready to come back so I can close down.
We are about ready to come back. About 20 seconds.
That's fine. That gives me plenty of time to get this link up. Because I got some people who are asking for links to the show.
Hearing pouring. Stuff. Better not lose power 2 weeks in a row. That would really upset me.
Better not break your kids. Okay, he can't do it tonight.
All right, no biggie. We're about to come back. Welcome back to another segment of Cop Block Radio.
Yeah.
Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block. And
gosh,
having
the sound. No. Oh,
And this is Joshua of Iowa City Cop Block.
There he is.
The professionalism.
He's just hitting us all night long.
Gonna give a
But
shout
hey,
out from Greater Cleveland Cop Block. It's Greater Cleveland Cop Block, right?
Absolutely. And hey, everybody out there listening in the viewing world, if you want to go ahead and be a part of the conversation tonight, don't forget we have our call-in lines at 872 COP block without the O in block. That is 872-267-2525. We are definitely waiting for you guys to give us a ring tonight because we know, especially with the stuff that's been going around with this thin blue line flag.
Go ahead and throw it on my lower third.
Yeah, I have it thrown up on my lower third for the call-in line itself.
It's on the call-in line. You should just put it on yours. But what is it? 872?
872-267-2525.
2525. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you tonight. Call in. We got a couple viewers right now. Come on, if you're a hater, we want to hear from you because
Oh my God, yes.
this week's drama was different than usual weeks. It's been one of those intense weeks that we touched on a couple emotions, guys. Have you felt the wave, Josh? Oh, we're getting.
Hey, we got ourselves a caller. Hey, how you doing tonight? Hello, caller?
Top Block Radio, you're on the line. All right, cut him. If you don't talk when you call in, we will cut you right away. Goodbye.
I don't know what you guys' monitor says, but my monitor says that that's Larry.
Yes, not that Larry. It is
Okay.
Larry. Hello.
Hello, welcome. How you doing? All right. Well, until you can
Okay.
audio together, please stop calling because we will block you next time. Because I don't know if that's a troll or what, but it seems to me it could be. Is it the same number that keeps calling?
I'm checking on that right now. Yeah, and let me tell you, if you are trolling, I am definitely going to put your number on this show.
Yeah. Come on, guys. We got caller ID. This is 2016. If you really want to call and troll, we won't throw your number up. We're not like that. If you want to call and have a conversation, we're not going to do that. But if you're just going to call and hang up, we might, because we're kind of like that.
I'm a dick. I'll do it.
I kind of pride myself in being a professional dick. Like making people cry on the internet makes me happy. How about you, Josh? You get hit with an abnormal amount of trolls too. How do you cope?
I just don't take them too seriously. You know, like I engage less and less with them over time as I realize that there's certain people you can reach and there's certain people that you can't. And like I gave a lot of energy to people trying for a long time, and I just sort of narrowed my field of where that goes to down. But they still find me. So
I really, your advice actually is one of the advices that stick out for me. In which all right, we'll try the call in line.
Hey, this is the call-in line for the Cop Block Radio Show. How
Hello?
you doing? Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Hey.
can you hear us?
Can you hear us, bud?
I don't know what's going on with that. I don't think he can hear us.
That doesn't seem possible. We definitely tested this more than once.
I don't know. We'll test it again during the commercial break. Until then, let's just cut it off for now.
Sounds good.
What I was saying was we were my best advice that I think I've gotten, the words that really stick out, is something that you said, Josh. It was very simple. You just said, they didn't come into that conversation with any brains and any knowledge, so they're not going to leave with any. You're like, and it made me really think, like, your one little conversation in the grand scheme of things is not going to change anything for them. It's going to irritate you more out of your day to try to talk to this person than they're even worth.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time under the philosophy that maybe it was worth like plowing up people's soil and digging seeds, and maybe I would never see them sprout, but later on they'd be fertile. And I think I did that enough, but there comes a time where you just wear yourself down doing it. So you let the next generation of people coming up through that process deal with the mega trolls, and you try to move in other levels when you can get away with it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't. I try to talk to some people. You know, I get a message every now and then that I'll respond to. That's somebody like if they approach me with respect, I am more like usually I do respond to those. I've had a few like the other day with this flag incident. I had somebody say, you know, I fought for this country. I really don't appreciate what you did. I understand why you did it, and I defend to the death your right to do it. But you really hurt me and people I care about. And God bless you. And I just wanted you to know that. And I responded. I talked to him for a little while. You know, I tried to let them see where my head was at in that whole thing, so that they didn't
Yeah,
understand it was a personal blow against like a dead soldier or something like that. It wasn't like that.
And
I,
for anybody who's wondering about if you have not seen the meme that Severin is talking about, this is it right here. If you can see it.
Yeah,
So
I'll put that up on the full screen. It's fuck your thin blue line, and the flag is in the toilet bowl. And we shared that around, and it caught a lot of attention that I wasn't expecting. I,
yeah,
I
right.
kind of thought it would butthurt some people, but I was not thinking of the level that people went. Uh,
Yeah, there was some
about
pretty vicious messages and comments in there.
Josh,
Uh,
what were you about to say?
oh, you know, it just gets this time. You know, this it's always this time in the election cycle every 4 years. And everybody just goes completely freaking nuts, and people who are sometimes normally rational will suddenly, you know, a tiny little symbolic, you know, gesture will drive them into the depths of nationalistic madness, and it's just I don't know how you break that cycle, man. But I've seen it happen every 4 years my entire adult life.
But I mean,
yeah,
I've seen the most incredibly. I mean, we had this conversation planned for later, but we might as well just talk. I've seen some of the most incredibly disturbing comments that like the Fed should be kicking down doors for directed toward us. Like
yeah,
so,
I've seen that
I
too.
heard somebody actually say, why don't we throw a party and invite all the cop blockers, pay for a party, and then tip off the ISIS and tell them it's a homo party. That'll solve two birds with one stone, they said. Like, come on, they're encouraging terrorism against us and quoting like from a national tragedy and saying that should be directed toward us. These people are sick and demented. These are the people we're up against. We're going to a commercial break. We're going to be right back with more Cop Block Radio.
Cop Block
we're not
Radio.
we're not just up against those fuckers. We're up against like all of the machinery like Facebook, man. I had 3 consecutive bans this week, and they were all you know, for me responding to people who said, you know, made like threats of violence and things to me, and like I responded in a much more gentle tone, and I got banned, and I tried reporting them back, and like the reports came back from Facebook like, sorry, this does not, you know, this does not violate our standards.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Okay, Severin, while we got the chance and we're on break, test the call-in line.
Yeah.
Because I think dude was a troll. I had blocked that number. What's up, Scott? Scott, can you hear me? Hello?
He can't hear us, dude.
All right. Let me
Test. I
Scott,
can't hear
can you
anything.
me?
Hello? Hello? Are you there?
Scott, call back. Scott, call back.
I'll call.
Whoever wants to call, somebody call. Hello? Hello? Okay, nothing there. Gonna go ahead and kill that extension. Hello? Hello? Damn it.
Testing, testing. I I can't hear you if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can't hear him either. Shit.
I can hear him.
Yeah, I can.
Uninstall the plugin and see if it works.
Can you hear me? We have some kind of
Yeah.
broken circuit here.
What's happened? I can hear him too. We
Yeah.
can all hear him, but he can't hear any of us. I don't know how we missed that, or what happened that happened. Because I thought it. I could swear we could hear. No, we heard Steph perfectly.
Yeah.
We tested this line. What'd you do? You broke the internet.
I did do it.
It's the professionalism you gotta love.
He just tickled his balls and made it coy for the night.
Yeah. All right, somebody give it a ring again.
Try it again.
Yep.
All right. We only have a minute, so.
Are you calling? No, I'm getting no calls. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
I can hear you. Can you
There he
hear me?
is.
Okay, it's back up and running. Yay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Don't touch anything.
Not touching a damn thing. Awesome. Right in time. Yo, my clocks are so wrong on my computer. I've got 9:30 on my main computer. I've got 10:29 on my secondary computer, and no, both of those are way wrong.
We're back from our commercial break. Matt was just talking about how unprofessional his setup is. All of us. Well, we have good news. During the commercial break, we did get the call lines working. So if that caller is out there and wants to try to call back in, it was an issue on our end. You didn't block them, did you?
Unblocked him now. So remember, if you want to call in and caller from earlier, if you want to go ahead and give a ring, it is 872-267-2525. We have fixed the call-in lines. Our professionalism, I told you, was going to plague us all night.
Yep.
But it's up and running, so give us a ring. So we had a story here that we were going to jump into, written by Josh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
Lead us into that. It's the one with the video, right?
yes, it is.
The video we just talked about, actually.
Yes, so this is
Josh, you want to fill us in on the details of this?
Okay, well, the young woman, Janelle Laird, was at the Easttown Mall in Madison, Wisconsin, and something went wrong. She ended up in an argument with a Taco Bell employee over a stolen phone, and things escalated, and she pulled out a knife and made some threats. And so security had tried getting her out of the mall and were unsuccessful. So about 5:15, the cops were called, and they showed up. And they get her outside the mall, and she's obviously, she's resisting arrest, but they've gotten the knife away from her, or she's not armed with a knife at least, and she's, a pretty small woman. She's 18 years old, and the cops just lay into her, I understand that she was a difficult situation and that she wasn't, complying, but when you start kneeing somebody in their ribs, and when you start throwing punches at them, and when you start smashing their face into the ground, and when you have them in a chokehold, being tased in the stomach, that goes beyond subduing and trying to keep the public and the person safe, into just being, being a bully and using your badge to get away with, your aggressive terroristic fantasies.
Absolutely. Well, we have a video that's accompanying this. Why don't we go ahead and give this a whirl?
Video has surfaced from inside one of LA County's juvenile halls. It shows 4 probation officers beating up a teenager in their care as a supervisor looks on. Eyewitness News reporter Miriam Hernandez has that story.
Under investigation, an incident that escalates in a holding room at LA County's juvenile hall in Sylmar. The video is silent. We don't know what words are exchanged between officers and a teenager, but in seconds we do see the violent outcome.
We can see 5 people on camera methodically beating this kid. And here's the supervisor right over here.
Celeste Freeman, editor of Witness LA, says she obtained the 4-minute video from sources inside the probation department. For years, LA County juvenile facilities had been monitored by the Department of Justice because of overcrowding and excessive force. Reforms were implemented in 2009. Investigators signed off. Now, whistleblowers inside the system are worried again.
There's still a culture of brutality against juveniles, and they're very upset about it.
Today, the probation chief, Cal Remington, responds in a statement saying, "We hold our staff to a very high standard. We have zero tolerance for mistreating the juveniles in our care. And while I can't comment on an ongoing investigation, this matter is being thoroughly investigated, and we take matters of this nature very, very seriously." What triggered the takedown? Moments earlier, the juvenile throws something bulky at the door, then a milk carton. But alone inside his cell, he does not appear to be a threat to anyone.
There's no reason for this kind of force ever, under any circumstances. Even if you have a riot.
The Department of Probation has turned over the case to the DA's office. Prosecutors in the Justice System Integrity Division will determine whether criminal charges will be filed. Miriam Hernandez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, that was actually the video for our next story.
Ah, awesome. My bad.
It's
somebody
cool.
could have done one of these, and it would have been sweet.
Once we were halfway through it, it was like, okay, no biggie. It was the video for our next story involving the juvenile hall. But that is one of our stories for tonight. Do you want to pull up that next video, Matt?
Sure. While I sit here all embarrassed and shit.
The Facebook link under 1033.
The Madison. Which one am I looking up now? The tasing.
Yeah, it's
Madison, Wisconsin.
Right where my mouse pointer is on the notes.
Okay. Sorry about this, guys.
It's cool. That was another story that we had to touch on that we actually skipped over because we were talking. But
well, while I get my hand out of my ass, do you guys want to talk about that video real quick?
I mean, while you watch Cop Block Video Live, there's going to be all kinds of interesting things happening. So, yeah, the juvenile hall thing. What do you think about that, Josh? Have you seen that story?
No, that was the first.
Okay, looks like I found the video.
It really goes along with what the story that we were going to go to. It's the same sort of thing. It's someone being abused not because it's a necessity, but because they failed the attitude test, as the cops say. Like they were made the cop's job more difficult. So what do
you say to the people who say that you require tactical why not just show them respect and do what they say, and then you wouldn't get hurt?
Well, first of all, you don't know what everyone's going through in a situation like that. Not all of us react to being thrown in a cage or in a situation under authority and can handle that rationally. That can feel like the sort of oppressive atmosphere that creates can drive anybody into a sort of a frenzied state. You can't speak for anybody in that situation and say that they should have done this or should have done that. Especially since they're just citizens. They're not trained to have a certain way to act in life. They're not the ones that are supposed to be responsible for making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
right.
And I answer that with simply, I don't have to. It's not required by law that I give them respect or follow their unlawful commands.
Right.
If I've done nothing wrong, I have no reason to stop and answer to you.
Right. So now that I have the right video up, do we want to go ahead and play that one?
Yeah, let's jump into that. It's pretty intense, guys, so if you have young viewers around, you might want to
If you've got young viewers around, I question why.
Yeah, but you want to turn that volume way down if you could.
Yeah, that's about as low as I can take it without being on mute. So you might want to adjust me real quick before I blow everybody's eardrums out yet again.
Go ahead.
Put your hands behind your back. Hold the air.
Bitch, you guys are so fucking forceful for no fucking reason.
Get on the ground now.
Bitch, you can't
Get on the ground.
Wow.
Bitch, you can't be fucking genius.
Leave me. Do it now. Stop.
Meanwhile, supervisor behind them watching.
So for our viewers who can't see the video, there is a young African-American girl who is being held down. First she was beaten several times on the side, then punched, and now they're abducting her.
Put your hands behind your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really intense and loud for any listeners. But what was going on is she was on the ground and they were kneeing her in the side, and she was resisting because they were kneeing her, roughing her up. And then they pulled out the taser, and you can just hear her screaming and hear the taser keep going off. And she, like, when you're being tased, there's no possible way for you to do what they're telling you to do. Every muscle in your body is locked in the position it's in. You're being electrocuted. Well,
Convulsing.
yeah, well, that wasn't good enough because they kept tasing this girl. It's as if they were trying to push for one of these cases where this girl drops dead after being tased for 30 seconds. It seems
that way.
I mean, do you want to play the rest of the video?
I can.
It seemed. I just wanted to cut in there and give a narration for anybody who was listening because all they can hear is screaming. And we'll be right back with more content video. Alright, you can cut that.
It went out on screams.
That is just... yeah, we definitely went out on screams. That is just too much. Those are too much for me to watch. I get the chills.
Yeah, that was pretty vicious.
I saw that at like 2:30 in the morning last night, and I was like, oh, I've got to write this now, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm going to play some commercials, if that's alright, unless you guys want to talk.
You can do whatever you would like.
Alright.
History. Almost equally as important as the amount you own. Impacting your score, but to a lesser degree, are the length of time you've utilized your credit, the number of new accounts, credit inquiries, and your various types of credit accounts. To help achieve or maintain a healthy credit score, have a system set up to assure your bills are always paid on time. Don't max out your cards. It's better to have a high credit limit with a low balance. Never close old accounts. The age of these can actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your credit. You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month with the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
This year, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Wednesday, gold is even at $1,266 per ounce, and silver is even at $17.31 per ounce. Bitcoin is currently trading at $663 US. Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been helping clients buying and selling precious metals for nearly 40 years. For more information, give us a call at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Yeah, we're back from our commercial break. This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matt Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block.
And this is Joshua of Iowa City Cop Block.
What's up, guys? So I forgot to hit on some news that I had. When we first opened up. Yeah, I got my Freedom of Information request back already for Officer Douchebag in Bethlehem Police Department.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, do tell.
Well, apparently since he was just transferred to Bethlehem from the department that he got in all the trouble in, all they have in Bethlehem's police department is a record from 2009 that he was suspended and another record that he went through some sort of rehabilitation training and was allowed to be reinstated, but it was just the official letters that were sent to him saying he was suspended and his appeal process and all that. But
okay, so you actually have to go and do a right to know at his former precinct?
Yeah, I guess so. That should follow him, though. That's just bullshit. This just opens the door on why things are so bad, because they can just transfer departments and it doesn't follow them? What kind of bullshit is that? He's on the front page of every paper, and his local department doesn't have a history of that?
That's the bullshit that they do. You know, you get a slap on the wrist over in one spot, so you can just turn around and go do your same bullshit in another. I mean, we see it all the time with officers. They fuck up in one spot and just end up in another one, and nobody's paying enough attention because, you know, it's all praised as a new hire, and in that area they might not have heard about the atrocious things that this officer's done to people in the other side of the state or, you know, even county at sometimes. So, you know, it's something that they've written.
Jeez.
It's all part of that thin blue line that sits right over your right shoulder, man. That's what it is. It's that thin blue line.
So basically, what I did confirm then. What I suspected was he was fired from one department when he got in all that trouble and took them on a high-speed chase. Then he waited his 6 months and went through some sort of rehab program to have it expunged. Then he goes and gets rehired in the next town, and then he gets let go, suspended from that town, which is the current town, because he busts into a house in cop uniform and beats up his ex and her new man in their living room.
Well, hey, everybody out there in the viewing world, if you want to call in and ask some questions or just talk about, you know, Officer Douchebag from Bethlehem, you can go ahead and give us a call at 872-267-2525 or 872-COP-BLOCK. Without the O and block.
Yeah, I'd love for the person who's calling in.
Right.
What's that?
I was gonna say, or you can hit up, up, down, down, left, right, A,
Konami
B, B, start select
code!
on Matt's hat and
Konami code!
and connect directly.
Yes, the Konami code will work in the future.
You are wearing the Nintendo hat.
Yes, I am. That was a good one right there, Josh.
You just brought
I was saving that.
That was some nostalgia right there. That was many, many, many hours of wasted nights. Contra.
Yeah.
All right, so what story are we moving into next, guys?
That's a great question.
I
So,
think we're going to be talking about Denver Police Department. Denver, Colorado. Isn't this where our dear buddy Adamo is calling home now?
for the time being,
It is. Commerce City specifically, but yeah, it's a suburb north of the north part of Denver.
Lucky man. Oh, I wish I could go.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. He can just literally walk into the store next door and buy weed and go home and smoke and never have to worry about any of it.
Yeah. It's the dream.
Well, it's not a paradise.
yeah, tell us why.
Excuse me. Definitely not a paradise for Lorenzo Moita, or Montoya. He was arrested on suspicion of having committed murder. And initially, he insisted he was innocent, and other evidence indicated that he was innocent. In spite of that, Denver detectives concealed the evidence that would exonerate him, and eventually bullied and coerced him into a confession. Montoya subsequently was convicted based on the false confession and ended up spending 13 years in prison before DNA proved his innocence.
More and more, we're hearing this.
He's now filing a $30 million lawsuit against Denver Police Department and the city of Denver, and the county of Denver over the life sentence he received and the wrongful conviction.
You know, not that I want to bring up that show that Netflix did that nobody would shut the hell up about, but this is very similar to what went down in that Making a Murderer.
Well, you know,
I mean, at the beginning at least.
I had said in the beginning when Making a Murderer got popular, I wish they would have picked a better person, because there are so many people that were poor, that finally figure out a way, get some kind of civil rights lawyer to run some DNA, and they get released. And it happens so often. This is so scary to me, man. To spend your whole life in prison knowing you're innocent, like I don't know. I don't think I could survive it. I don't think I would want to survive it.
It's kind of crazy because, you know, it's happening more and more than, or a lot more than what's being reported on, that people are being released after DNA exonerates them, or after it turns around and says, oh, they were convicted because of bite mark evidence, and bite mark is obviously not exactly the most solid piece of evidence that, you know, an investigator can bring to the table.
Well, you might be out there too thinking, like, this person confessed, he could have just never given in. But let me put it into a little bit of context here. This person at the time of the confession was 14 years old. That's a kid.
Yep.
This is a kid. Probably wanted his mom. They probably promised him he could go home if he did confess. Like, whatever was going on. Well, Fox 31 Denver reports Denver homicide detectives grilled Montoya for 2.5 hours, most of the time without a parent present. Attorney Lisa Pulowski said they were yelling and screaming in his face, making up evidence, banging on the table, and cornering him against the wall, telling him he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison and he should say goodbye to his mother.
And I mean, there's a picture there. It shows him. He's sitting in a chair just bawling.
Yeah, and they don't care. They need that confession. They need to close this case, regardless if it's the right guy.
Well, yeah, that's one of those moments where it seems like they walked into that room already convinced of the fact that he did it, so all they had to do was connect dots in their own heads to make it work.
Absolutely. The police interrogation tape shows detectives lying to Montoya about the evidence and statement from the other teens. Montoya told police he was joyriding in a stolen car that day and did not commit the crime. He wasn't there when anything happened and did not know anything about it. According to the lawsuit, at least 65 times Montoya told police he did not have anything to do with this. Finally sobbing, He told police what they wanted to hear. I without a doubt believe he was coerced, said the attorney. He ended up being convicted on a crime because the police coerced him into a confession. According to the lawsuit, the interrogation shows the detectives coaching Montoya through a false confession. It accuses police of ignoring or lying about other evidence that could have cleared Montoya. He was charged as an adult, convicted and sentenced to life in prison, and spent 13 years there. 7 months and 13 days behind bars until a judge vacated the conviction in 2014 after DNA evidence exonerated him. Wow.
But it says right here, another attorney, his name is David Fisher said it's hard to understand why an innocent person would confess, but points that 44% of juveniles exonerated by DNA evidence were coerced into false confessions. So this isn't something that just happens at here and there. It actually shows that
kids and force them into these interrogations with these grown adults that are just doing whatever they can to manipulate them. How can they be allowed to do that without an attorney present, at least? There should be a blanket rule that automatically kids have to have an attorney present.
Or at least their freaking parents, or a guardian. As far as I know, they're not supposed to talk to these kids without a guardian or somebody present.
Well, they're really good at lying and getting their way, so it says that mom was in and out. But they probably convinced mom that the best thing for him was to get him to talk. Oh man, this is scary stuff, guys. Like,
you know what? We saw something firsthand of this. Remember, it was a couple months back. It was right after you guys got your equipment back for what was going on with you guys in the Lehighton State Police. And while we were there, an unfortunate event had happened earlier in the day in town where a fire had claimed the life of an infant child. Well, as we were standing there inside of Lehighton State Police, the police were gearing up to take back into questioning
the family.
A 3-year-old.
We'll be right back with more Cop Block Radio. Yeah, dude, I remember that. That was messed up.
Yeah, they were ready to go back and grill a 3-year-old, and they were really trying to get the parents to let them go back there by themselves. Like, who's going to send their 3-year-olds back with detectives investigating a murder?
They were about to. I bet you that.
They
I
were.
never followed up.
I haven't heard anything on it either.
To see what the outcome for that was?
I keep looking. I'll look at it again. I'll look right now to see if I can't find anything. But last I saw, I didn't see anything.
Have you guys seen another documentary that was on Netflix recently? And it was a guy who had been put in prison for a murder, and it's all from his point of view. He talks about it. He got out eventually on DNA evidence, but he kind of entered as a young kid who'd been mixed up, had learned to read while he was in there, and had relationships and stuff with people on the outside, and spent years trying to get out, and for the longest time couldn't, because.
Well, did you hear that statistic, dude? That's insane. 44% of DNA evidence in exonerating people who confessed as a child turns out that they were coerced into a false confession.
Yeah.
That's insane. Something needs to be done there. That is a really high number.
Okay, just to give an update here, it did come back, and the coroner lists carbon monoxide toxicity as the cause of death, and the baby's death was ruled accidental, so nobody was charged with that. But in a funny story, not funny haha, but funny whoa, the mom in this was actually one of the people who were just stopped in the Holland Tunnel with a whole crap load of frickin' weaponry from Lehighton.
Nuh-uh.
Yep, same person.
So she
Love
lost
these small towns.
She lost her kid and went off her rocker?
I guess there's a lot more to deal with this in the sense of like somebody was taken, there's heroin's involved, whole bunch of crap, but it turns out it's the same person.
Wow, small world, man.
Right? Like I read that, I'm like, I recognize this name. Holy crap! I read about this earlier.
Well, I wouldn't.
Because that is front page in this town.
Crazy, off the wall stuff after something like that happens.
Yeah, because that story is front freaking page here in Lehighton, because it's not often that it's like, hey, terrorist subject from local town. So of course They're all flipping out about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that wasn't on the local news.
It should have been because she's directly from here. 29 years old. I just closed the article, but yeah, from Lehighton. Damn, you know what's crazy is that means we were actually in the same room as that woman because we were in the same room as the mom because she was sitting there crying. I remember the mom. I guess Severin went pee. Whatever that was, it sounded like you flushed his toilet. Ow. That's ridiculously loud.
Or he's filling his beer bucket.
That's loud?
Yes.
Shouldn't be. Turned way down.
Oh shit, I didn't even realize we're on our long break, aren't we?
Yeah. I'm going to play some commercials.
Okay, yeah, I gotta pee. Hey, how much time do I have? Because I don't have proper time. How much?
5.
Cool.
Currency. Call Roberts and Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports the senior member of Pennsylvania's congressional delegation was convicted Tuesday on numerous criminal counts related to corruption stemming from an indictment last year that also ensnared several of his political allies. Representative Chaka Fattah, a Democrat, was found guilty Tuesday on all federal counts, including conspiracy to commit racketeering, wire fraud, mail fraud, falsifying records, bribery, bank fraud, money laundering, and making false statements to financial institutions. The jury delivered its verdict following a month-long trial in which prosecutors said the congressman repeatedly bribed others and stole campaign contributions, charitable donations, and federal grant money. The U.S. Department of Justice outlined widespread corruption in its prosecution of Fattah, who has represented Pennsylvania's 2nd congressional district since he was elected in 1994. Last summer, a grand jury indicted Fattah and accused him of participating in various schemes to enrich himself. 4 others, political and business allies, were also indicted. They are Bonnie Bowser, Fattah's chief of staff, lobbyist Herbert Biederman, consultant Robert Brand, and Karen Nichols, the chief executive of a nonprofit educational alliance founded by Fattah. Fattah now faces the prospect of spending the rest of his life in prison. He will be sentenced on October 4th. If you're fed up with the government running every aspect of your life, but you're not listening to the Lava Flow podcast yet, what's wrong with you? Go right now to thelavaflow.com/listen. The Lava Flow podcast, channeling the flow of information to the libertarian, anarcho-capitalist, voluntarist, and agrist community. Subscribe today using any podcatcher at thelavaflow.com/listen, or just go back to sucking up to the government. The Lava Flow podcast, striking the root every episode. Reuters reports the New York City Council on Tuesday approved a law requiring single-stall public bathrooms to be gender-neutral in a show of support for transgendered people, according to the bill's main sponsor. The council voted 47-2 for the measure, which will take effect January 1st, 2017. Many New York City restaurants already mark their single-stall bathrooms without gender designation or as apt for both sexes, but the new law is meant to make the practice standard and recognize transgender people, according to Councilman Daniel Drum. Drum said this sends a message that New York City supports the transgender community and understands the issue. A law passed in North Carolina that requires people to use the public bathroom matching their gender assigned at birth rather than their gender identity triggered wide criticism and led a parade of celebrity performers to boycott the state. Drum said the New York City measure was also a nod to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people following the June 12th Orlando massacre at a gay nightclub that killed 49 people, as he noted how the issue has galvanized people. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Researchers have definitively concluded that all of it, is some kind of sick joke. The Princeton study suggests that the entirety of existence, including time, marriage, migratory patterns of birds, continental drift, life itself, photosynthesis, human society, and the changing of the seasons, are all part of a massive, twisted ruse orchestrated by a spiteful cosmos.
Look at you morons, taking stupid video for your pointless newspaper. Everything's a joke. I'm a joke, you're a joke, the whole universe is a joke.
We at the Onion Week in Review are compelled to inform viewers that while this entire segment is indeed one small part of the giant perverse joke, the upshot is that the next minute of your life will be no more or less pointless than if you were to spend it with a loved one, mentoring an at-risk youth, or simply wallowing in your own feculence. In other news, Harley Davidson and Jack Daniels collaborate on a local felon. A churchgoer blanks on why she's lighting a votive candle. And please ring the bell and the boy will come round momentarily for your bags. For more news, visit theonion.com/newsbeat.
Welcome back to our second half of Cop Block Radio. This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matthew Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block.
And this is Joshua from Iowa City Cop Block.
And we want to hear from you out there in the audience. So please, if you're out there and you got a phone and you want to call in and you want to ask us a question, maybe you have a topic, maybe you just have something that we did that you don't like, call in to the call-in line at 872-267-2525. 872-267-2525.
So, funny little thing that happened here as we were on our commercial break. You know, normally over our long break, will go upstairs and use the restroom. So, a little personal here, but I walk into the bathroom and there's my fiance just sitting there, jets running in the bathroom, or in the bathtub, taking a bath, feet kicked up, sitting her pregnant ass back, and what is she watching on her laptop? Us. So, shout out to you, babe. Thanks for watching us. Relaxing up in the jacuzzi tub, just watching some Cop Block Radio. That's love, guys. That's love.
That's love. Love right there. Well, now we have to have this segment that's coming up next. It's our weekly segment of Douchebag of the Week.
Woo, douchebag.
This week, douchebag definitely goes to Citizens Against Cop Block or Civilians Against Cop Block, and we're going to target one person. If you ever watch the show, we're targeting you, Jay, Justin. You're a fucking douche. You seriously got daddy issues, and you seem to want more attention than anything else. Because I've watched you. You've been trolling my page for the last 3 days, and you have no life. Because you're always on there, and I'm letting you continue because you make an ass out of yourself and you make people see what kind of people are pro-police. So you made Douchebag of the Week, and I just wanted to give you that shout out. And
you know, it's kind of funny because I've watched your guys' interactions on your page, and more than once have you given him the opportunity to call in, talk to us. Give us his point of view about why we are so wrong. And his response is, I would much rather just sit back and, quote, watch the train wreck that is your show, which is fine, because at the end of the day, you know what we say? Thanks for viewing. That means you're a fan, bud. Whether you have something positive or negative to say, you're tuning in every week, which makes you a fan. We're going to send you a shirt. Yeah. So go ahead. Give us a ring. Call in. Give us the information where we can go ahead and send your Cop Block shirt directly to you, because you know what? That's what we do for our fans. Give us a call, Jay. The number is 872-267-2525. Just going to poke the bear one more time. Go ahead, Seb.
Our next story for the night is Josh's story out of Oakland. This is the story that keeps on giving because
it really does.
It has made Cop Block numbers. It's like been at the top of the page, and every time it gets updated, it jumps back to the top of the page because it's a young, hot girl on the cover of the photo, and that's her Facebook photo. She's a big hussy.
Well, okay, the way I view this story is, you know, have you ever just been driving down the street and traffic slows really bad, and the whole reason why is there's a car accident to the side and everybody's got to look? That is what this is. It is a car wreck. It is a car wreck. It is a train wreck. It is any wreck you want it to be because you can't stop looking at it. It's just every time you tune in to see what's going on, it just seems like another episode of something on, like, Wednesday nights on Fox. It's badly written, and it's too good not to be real. But shit, are they fucking around up there? Josh, give us an update yet again of what's going on with the gangbang
And
squad
Josh, make
over
sure
in
you put
Oakland.
some respect on that. All right.
Put respect on the name.
Respect on it. Yeah. So they've had their third chief step down now over this whole deal. Before all of this occurred, the Fed, I mean, Oakland cops, the Oakland Police Department was so bad that the feds actually had a babysitter in their department keeping an eye on them. And a few years back, he had ousted their last chief and put the first guy, Went, who was the first of the three recents to go in, because he had done such a fine job of getting everything back on track, which I guess we found out was not the case after all. And so then we had another temporary guy, and I mean, nobody really knows what happened with him so much. Like, it seems like he kind of just didn't really want it and kind of gave in, and then the third
It was
guy
like a
came
token role at the time. He had to kind of step in.
Yeah. So there's, now there's over 30 people that have been involved in this girl with some way, and at least 3 of them when she was under 18 years old, and I mean, they just went family style on this girl for like years, and like she was actively working as a prostitute, and they would get a hold of her and let her know what streets they were working that night so she could work other ones, and she would pay him back with a little guap love. And
Heidi fucking Fleiss right here. That's what this is. This is a 16-year-old Heidi Fleiss making an empire. It broke down a little too soon, but think about it. She had literally laid all the groundwork here, okay? She had slept with everybody who could have torn this down. The only thing she wasn't, prepared for was that somebody was going to catch way too many feelings. Their lives were going to start to go down the shitter, and they were going to leave a suicide note. If that hadn't happened, what the hell? I'm sure this is going to just keep giving. Like, eventually we're going to hear that she was, under the desk at the mayor's office. I just can't wait for it.
No, I just wanted to marry one of the officers and then live happily ever after. That's what
after the entire police force and her move to Utah, and they do a little bit of like a reverse reverse Mormon marriage. Yeah.
I have actually heard the story starts with the guy who committed suicide, right? Because his wife committed suicide, and so he committed suicide because she couldn't take what he'd done, and then he couldn't take what he'd done. But
His name was what? Brendan O'Brien?
Yeah. But there are some alternate stories out there about the possibility that he may have killed his wife, and that the Oakland department had helped cover that up, and that he eventually killed himself out of guilt, or they were afraid he was going to talk, and he was killed by someone else in the Oakland department. So there's layers of this that we haven't even seen yet. Man, this story is going to keep on giving.
Wow. So has the department disbanded yet, or who's left?
I mean, it's Oakland, so I'm sure that they have hundreds, if not thousands, of people, on their force. And they'll just keep throwing new people in there. There's never any lack of fresh meat. Somebody that beat somebody in another town will come over and be the chief until he screws up. And
as far as I'm aware, right now they're vetting out all the people who are in the mailroom, because I think they might actually be able to do the most good right now, because these guys are used to dealing with all the shit that comes in through the mail and filing through all that. Because I think that's what happened with this last guy. He came in, he was like, yeah, I've fixed departments before, everything will be good. The second he sat down and couldn't even see his desk, he was like, shit, no, I'm good, nope, I'm out. So I think that's probably what they're trying to do. They're trying to get somebody that they can get in there long enough to just go and pin the rest of this shit right to them. Just like, here's your badge of honor. Just hold this shit down. And honestly, nobody in their right mind, even if they have chose such an ass-backwards career like law enforcement, wants to step in and just have everybody else's shit piled on their back the second they start a job. So that's why they're not going to keep anybody. The best thing that they can do is completely tear that shit out from bottom up. I mean, even go into your dispatchers, because obviously the dispatchers, they're letting shit slide too. So just start from the ground up and completely redo it. And if you're just gonna start from the ground up and completely redo it, why don't you just go ahead and just get rid of the whole damn department and see what happens? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure the city of Oakland, and this might sound like a big stretch to some people, but I think the city of Oakland might be better off if you don't have officers on the street that feel it's okay to go ahead and prostitute out underage people and take bribes in the form of fellatio and shit like that. So, if that's just obviously the tip of the iceberg, as Josh was saying, if they're at the point where there's talks about the fact that the department covered up, a murder inside by one of their officers by offing one of their officers. Is that really something you're ever going to feel safe seeing? If that pulls up behind you, there's three thoughts that should be going through your head. One, don't talk to them. Two, are they going to rape me? And three, if they do, are they going to kill me and later get killed for it? I mean, that's not the way it's supposed to work ever, but just the fact that that is a realistic thought that's got to go through the head of anybody who's living in Oakland right now obviously says that this system is so far broken you might as well just shut the shit down.
When we come back, we're going to be going to the story.
Oh, I take it we went to commercial?
Yeah, we've been at commercial. We went out on you talking. I just let you keep going for the YouTubers. We went out at a good moment, though. You were right at a good point. The story by Dylan about the police state flag, or the thin blue line flag, and then we'll go into the discussion about that.
God, do I've got words on this flag. Yo, if there's anything, Rick fucking hates this flag.
Wearing the red, white, and blue American flag on your uniform. Why are you wearing this?
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Can you... Here, I'm going to send you the link. Can you play this video?
Yes, I can. Yeah. Where are you sending it? On my Facebook?
Hang on. Right here. Josh asked, yeah, I can answer your question from earlier, Josh. It's okay to answer it out loud about if Dio's going to be coming back soon. If anybody's wondering, actually, we should address it on air when we come back, in case anybody's wondering. He said he will be coming back. He just wants to wait till after this is behind him, because they've been really good about using everything he says against him. So he's just not saying anything right now, not giving him anything to use against him.
That makes sense. And being in jail alone would be traumatizing.
He just had to serve. What did he actually do? Like 4 months in? That was no easy road for him, man. That was he was in solitary and all that.
Yeah.
For nothing. I want to know, after he beats his appeal, and I'm confident he will win in the appeal, I want to know, after the appeal, can he sue for all that time then?
He can bring a civil case. I don't know if he'd be able to bring a criminal case, but he could bring a civil case. It would be.
I mean, so he could get a check at least.
Yeah, and I would say his
money
chances
to buy a house somewhere other than where he's at. Move out of his area.
Yes, Dio, it is time to leave Cleveland.
Yeah, forget that area, dude. You can't go back out there and comfortably cop block because it's a hostile territory. Gangs rule that area.
I think his lady has a pretty well-established business in that area. Is kind of what keeps him there. She bakes and does like specialty cakes and stuff like that. She has like a pretty well-established client base there, and I think that's kind of the reason he's there.
Well, maybe he can get a couple mil from his time. Then his wife can retire. They could both just.
I think it's something like the max that you can charge is $1,000 a day. Well, incarcerated. But still, that's a nice little chunk of change that he would be able to pull. Because I mean, even
time you don't get back. You can't.
Right.
You can't get that back. That's time off your life that you. Yeah. We're back. This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block.
And this is Joshua of Iowa City Cop Block.
And hey, everybody, remember, if you want to call in and be a part of our show tonight, our call-in lines are wide open. So give us a call at 872-267-2525. Looking forward to you guys being a part of the show tonight.
During the commercial break, to anybody who was not watching on YouTube, we were just discussing Dio, our good buddy. I'm sure some people miss him out there. I know I miss him.
I miss him.
I miss him. He's been laying low. He's doing the smart thing. He's out. He had to take a nice big hit for no reason because the state is a bunch of assholes. So there's no reason for him to give them more evidence to use against him to try to hit him more. He has to still fight this in appeals court, so he's not giving them any evidence, so he's just laying low. And he's doing the smart thing.
Good.
We love you, Dio, though. We think about you every episode. Can't wait for you to come back, and we got our support 100%.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So before we cut to a break, did we touch on this story yet? Or no, we didn't, actually.
We bit earlier in the show, but let's get to the bulk of it.
A little bit about the thin blue line flag. And, Matt, you have a video for us, right?
Yes, sir, I do. Well, we go ahead and play this.
Yeah.
Obamacare. How about federal pensions to federal employees?
Sir, why aren't you wearing the red, white, and blue on your uniform? Why are you wearing this flag right here?
It's smarter than he fucking looks, isn't it? So it's not a
Sir?
merger. Socialism is taking over private industry. It's seizing private.
So is this actually Dylan filming?
What was wrong with red, white, and
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do you know that, Josh?
What
was the question? Dylan wrote this story. Is this actually Dylan that was there filming this?
Yeah, this was when Dylan and Brian were at the Trump rally in Fresno. And,
That's what I thought. So
Okay.
This is Dylan, that one of the copblock.org contributors, and he actually wrote the story that goes with this video. But this is him confronting this officer at the rally, and the officer's just standing there, stone-faced, not answering. Like, what kind of public servant are you? You're just going to stand there and ignore him.
But let's continue. Let's see what happens.
Socialist Democrats of America. Studies show that swearing is a sign of intelligence.
They're all wearing it.
You guys are smartphones? Oh, and I bet when you're a pop smoker, you're a better driver too, right? As a matter of fact, I am. I'm more polite.
Ma'am, why are you wearing a flag that is not the American flag on your uniform?
I just want to say that is the most triggered-looking woman I've seen in a long time.
Ma'am, why are you wearing a flag that is not the American flag on your uniform? You are a public servant.
You are the
So
village
fucking
idiot.
triggered.
Yeah, you're the village idiot. You guys are the village idiot. You're the village idiot.
Who's saying
Sir,
you're the village idiot?
why are you wearing a flag?
What was that, Severin?
Who was that just yelling, you're the village idiot?
I don't know, but it's fantastic.
It is not the American flag on your uniform.
I'm a journalist. That's why I'm here with my camera. What's your journalistic credentials? Oh, so what journalist? Who do you work for?
Sir, 17735. Is there a reason you're wearing a flag that is not the American flag on your uniform?
We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump.
We love Trump.
Trump.
Boo. This is the most confusing rally I've ever heard.
Ma'am, is there a reason you're wearing a flag that is not the American flag on your uniform? Are you allowed to speak to members of the public? Are you a robot? Are you an android? There's not even a riot here. There's no, unless you consider the Klan rally going on over there a riot.
What's your name?
Who am I talking to?
I'm Samantha.
For who?
New York City News.
My name's Dylan Donnelly.
Where's your flag?
I don't wear flags on my fucking riot gear.
That's because you're not in as much danger as they are today, right?
I don't see a riot here. What danger is going on right here?
Well, what I see is someone causing problems while they're trying to solve the problem.
What
How are
problem are
you
they
trying
solving
to
here?
solve the
You.
problem?
I'm a problem?
You don't think so?
I'm not armed.
I ask you a question? What are you accomplishing now?
I'm sorry.
I was getting an ad for the thin blue flag in the window there. That's
Yes,
hilarious.
so was I. I was like, no. I was like, I'm going to get rid of that as quickly as possible. But hey, it looks like we just had ourselves another member join us while we were on that video. So why don't we give a good, old, awesome shout out to Amanda Burnquist from
Minnesota, Cop Block.
There you go, plug yourself.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you perfectly.
Can you hear me okay?
We gotcha.
Hello? Okay, good, good.
Amanda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What's up, man? How you doing?
We're good. How about yourself? So did you watch
I'm
any of that
good,
video?
man.
Were you in on any of that video we were just listening to?
I just saw the tail end of it, and that was the first time I've seen it, so...
But you're familiar with the police using the thin blue line to hijack our flag, right? The American flag.
Yes. I knew about it, but I didn't really watch the whole thing yet,
So this is something, I mean, I have one behind us.
Oh, yeah.
Thin
Yeah, I
blue
saw
line.
the whole...
Them actually wearing it is something new, but then them adopting it as their own gang symbol is not.
Yeah.
But you can't be surprised.
Oh no, I'm not surprised. Well, I gotta say, the first time I saw it, I was a little offended. It's like, do they really think that they rep our country? Like they're
Yes, as a matter of fact, they do.
Yeah.
They're high
That's exactly
enough
what
up and like they run shit like more than the president, more than anybody else. Like it's
Pretty
the
much.
police, man. They can just take the flag, put their gang symbol right across it, and nobody even batted an eye.
Well, you see what they can do to 18-year-old girls and underage girls in Oakland. I mean, yeah, of course they think
Amen.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If you don't think that they feel that they're above everything and the law and the law doesn't pertain, I mean, just look at all the hypocritical shit that they actually do. When you sit there and you have people, these gang members putting their own flags on, but these are also the same kind of people who sit there and tell you that other gangs that they have deemed to be violent can't actually wear their own flags. That's a state of hypocrisy right there, especially.
Well, Matthew,
since
that's because they can't handle competition.
Exactly, because one generates a hell of a lot of money, and you can't tell me that with the corruption that we see all over the country, that they don't have their paws in on just about every piece of trade that happens inside of their city, whether it's on the books or off. So, it really wouldn't surprise me there. But I mean, it's just the hypocrisy all the way around in police that really just bothered me. Not only when it comes down to just disrespectful flags like what we see here on their chest, all the way down to just the hypocrisy of a bike cop pulling you over for not wearing a seatbelt. I mean, all the way from top to bottom, the system's just stupid. So
Absolutely, and on top of that,
this
go
flag
ahead,
right
sorry.
here, though, is just a symbol of their stupidity. That's what it is. It's just a symbol of their stupidity. They sit there and they make this, and they think that people are going to sit there and respect it like it's the American flag, when all they've done is sit there and desecrate it so they can turn around and put it on their chest. I mean, it is just...
Well, we're going to dive into this a little more and discuss why this is so emotional and why this is such a hot topic. We're going to be right back with more Cop Block Radio.
Hey, have you guys seen the version of this? I posted that video to my page, and my friend in England, I was joking on. I was like, man, this would be great with the song "Colors" by Ice-T, and so he made a remix of the song.
I saw that version. I was cracking up.
I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to check it out.
That's awesome.
I'll try to find it again. It was on my page.
There's no talking or anything. It's just them there and their stern faces standing there, and it's just colors.
It's perfect.
It is pretty funny.
Let me tell you, we're on this video, right? And I don't know if it was sitting in the show notes or not, because if it wasn't, I don't know what happened. But I'm just sitting here, and the next thing I know, Amanda pops in. I'm like, oh, we got Amanda. Don't know where you came from. Hi.
Yeah. My bad. I forgot to mention that she messaged and said I said you could come on if Andrew can't. So she said yeah, and I told her just let me know when she's available because she wasn't at home yet.
Sweet.
So it was like a quick.
Yeah, I may have to leave abruptly, so I apologize if I do.
Okay.
It's okay. We'll just tell the
We're
viewers
just
that
going to be
some
having
sort
a
of natural
conversation
disaster
about
happened.
police hypocrisy. So whatever you have to say about that's pretty cool.
Okay. And then when you just drop out, we'll be like, yes, she was saying that there was frogs falling from the sky. They were big.
Yes.
It was dangerous.
That seems legit.
So when we come back, is there anything new in your area you want to hit on, Amanda?
Well, yeah, we actually have quite a lot of disgraceful shit. Starting with the Running Man challenge. I don't know if you guys saw that. City of Bloomington had that Running Man challenge. It was just.
Yep. We were gonna troll that actually, Severed. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's us.
We were gonna.
All right.
We're
Well,
gonna do
when
the
we come
cabbage
back,
challenge.
I'm gonna just we'll introduce ourselves, and I'm gonna pass it off to you to give us an update from Minnesota.
Sure.
And then we'll jump back into the conversation.
Okay. Sounds good.
True colors shining from above.
Aww.
Why didn't Cyndi Lauper and Ice-T ever do a track together, man? That'd have been hot.
What's that?
All I heard was Cyndi Lauper and Hot, and I really became interested.
Why didn't Ice-T and Cyndi Lauper ever do a duet together, man? That would have been hot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cyndi Lauper.
Hey, yo, I've seen Snoop Dogg and Dolly Parton do a duet, so why can't that happen?
I don't want to know what happened behind the scenes in that. That's some disgusting, freaky stuff.
Yo, but a hot-ass track came out of that. That's all I can say.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
I'll see if I can't track it down for you. Actually, I think it's probably just a mashup, but still.
Yeah, it's not worth
Jack White with Laura Lynn.
Flagged. So everybody's broadcasting this week from Porkfest except us.
That's fine. We're the only ones who had enough conviction to say that we weren't going to go to Porkfest and then actually decided not to go to Porkfest like we said we were.
Yeah. I don't know. I love everybody, but I'm disappointed anybody even went. I don't have no hard feelings toward anybody that decided to go, but I think it would have been easier to make a louder message to just create a better event next year that didn't involve.
I thought about, spending money and going to Porkfest and giving money to, people.
We're back. Matt, did you want to say that on air or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I said I thought about actually going to Porkfest, seeing that, as you said on the break, that almost everybody on LRN is actually broadcasting live from Porkfest this week. And we actually had decided a while back when some stuff had gone down that we were not going to support the Free State Project and that we were going to pull out of Porkfest at Cop Block Radio level. So honestly, we could have gone. We could have said, okay, you know what, screw it, things have passed and still gone. But at the end of the day, I believe with the decision that we made and holding to our convictions was the right thing to do. And honestly, I could pay to go to Porkfest to do this right here, or I could take that money and actually get the stuff that I want to get for this show, like a green screen.
Well, actually, even further than that, I'm not sure how many were being offered, but I know I personally was offered a free ticket if I were to take the show there tonight. And I passed on it. I couldn't. I would not have fun around those people. I would feel like I was around a bunch of hypocrites. Like I would really feel like I'd have to bite my tongue the whole time.
Well, it's supposed to be a freedom movement, but the second you start telling me that I got to get bag checked before I could even go inside, I start feeling my freedoms getting torn away. And that right there is what we're supposed to be fighting against. Even all the way down to the Free State Project. That's what you're supposed to be fighting against, and to turn around and say, you know what? Okay, go ahead and bring your cockroaches in here to bag check every single person walking in. It was just a slap in the face for everything that this event was supposed to be about, and that's just something I can't back. I can't.
It's the Free Status Project now. It's no longer what it used to be. It's a good lesson. It's a really good lesson on what happens to a movement when you start to make small compromises to benefit yourself.
And
Like,
everybody, I just want to go ahead.
When you're willing to morally compromise here and a little one there, it adds up over time, and then slowly your whole movement just turns to something ugly.
And just because I can never overlook it when it happens, I just want to go ahead and give a Cop Block Radio shout out to Josh's cat because he had a kitty.
Aw, kitty. Well,
I've got the bestest cat ever.
we have an awesome time right now with Amanda from Minnesota Cop Block, and there's just so much stuff coming out of Minnesota that we're just going to pass it off to you, Amanda. Give us an update from Minnesota.
Well, there's quite a few things going on, actually. First, I guess, would be that the Running Man Challenge, it's a little ridiculous, I guess. It's almost like a slap in the face to all the people that they victimize, like, on a daily basis.
Did they, did that originate there?
No. I don't know. I can't say that for sure, because I know that within, like, the Twin Cities area, all the local areas, they're, like, nominating each other and stuff.
Instead of the really big one that did it, that everyone saw the video?
Yeah, that's the city of Bloomington, who just recently, there was this big, huge deal. They're the city that the Mall of America is located in, and there was a big Black Lives Matter protest there, and they went in there, like, full army gear and everything. And if you hadn't noticed, they used all that stuff for their little fiasco there. They had all their little, the tanks and their little grenades and all these props and stuff, Great use of taxpayer money, by the way, but they did that, and then they used a lot of those same things for the Mall of America when they arrested these peaceful protesters over the holiday.
Well, to anybody out there listening that maybe you have a question for Amanda from Minnesota Cop Block, are you from Minnesota? Give us a call at 872-267-2525. So other than the Running Man Challenge, what else is going on in Minnesota? I know.
Go ahead.
I know you guys had some newspaper articles happening where some of your activism was getting noticed. I thought I remembered seeing something about that in some news feed.
Possible. I know that there's this one young man who lives in the city of Rochester. It's about an hour south of the Twin Cities, and he did a First Amendment audit and was arrested, and he recorded it and stuff. And so he did a follow-up, so that might have been what made it to your news feed.
Okay.
Perhaps.
I think that is the one that I was thinking about. Something got noticed where he got arrested or something like that. I think that's what I saw.
Okay, possibly. Another thing that happened today is there's some dash cam video footage released today. There was a young man who was having a manic episode down in the city of Burnsville, and he was kind of going a little crazy. He was shaking, and I think he was on meth, and he was running around, and the cops were trying to get in to him, and he didn't commit any crimes or anything at this point, and they ultimately ended up breaking the windows, and he ran out of the car and ran away, and all these cops shot him. They killed him. They all shot him in the back. Wow. And so they released the dash cam stuff today, and that was making the news, so that's another thing.
How long ago was that incident?
It was in March, I believe. March or April of this year.
Oh, so it took 3 months for them to release the dash cams?
Well, yeah, and that's because today they decided, of course, they're not going to press charges against any of the officers like usual, and
surprise, surprise.
So we get to all be outraged and know that nothing is happening.
Right. Basically.
How is that even possible that you can shoot somebody in the back and they're held responsible?
Well, they justify it by saying that they were scared because they didn't want them to run into rush hour traffic and hurt someone else, kind of thing. That's how they justified it.
Excellent.
Literally, like, that was the quote.
There's always these great leaps of logic that authoritarians and their supporters make. There's always this gigantic what-if scenario, and none of them ever, seem to think, like, well, what if people were just fucking cool when you left them alone?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Well, if anybody's out in the Minnesota area and they want to get involved in cop blocking, is there any events or anything like that you have coming up?
As far as I know at this point, well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I take that back. This weekend is the Pride Festival that we have, and they're going to have, heavy security and stuff like that because of what happened in Orlando. And, we're going to be there. And me and Andrew are planning on handing out some condoms with some information on knowing your rights and stuff.
You got some
So we'll be
cop
there.
condoms?
Well, he does.
Nice.
He's got a whole bunch of them, I guess. So we're going to just hand them out along with some
That
cards.
is an amazing outreach that was such a smart move of whoever made that call, whether it was a Damo or Dio or whoever did that call to make those condoms. That was the best outreach idea.
Yeah, it was a demo.
Because no one. I don't care if you like cops or don't like cops. No one's gonna throw away a condom. You're always gonna put that stuff in your wallet, and it forces you to see it every time you open it up. It's the perfect marketing tool.
Absolutely.
Well, anyway, so if you want to get some Cop Block condoms, they are available and they're cheap. They're cheaper than like a box of Trojans in the store. You get 50 of them for $10, I think, at copblock.org.
25.
Really?
25 for 10?
That's so, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. So copblock.org/store. Get your condoms, get your shirts, get your pants, get whatever you need to advertise. Send them
And don't forget that $10 gives you 25 chances to take a condom up to a cop and tell him to stop procreating.
Yeah.
So right there, that is $10 well spent on the furthering of a decent society for us to live in.
Yeah, funny story. Remember I said when we were at that stop, I was actually I had one of those condoms in my pocket when we were at that stop in Bethlehem the other day. I was going to use it. If she said, yes, I ticketed them, I was going to pull one out and say, don't procreate. And
Well, see, you could give her a Cop Block condom, but I think aren't we about ready to roll out a Cop Block sponge for the lady cops? I don't know if anybody remembers the Seinfeld episode with the sponge, but that was the reference there in case you didn't catch it.
Hey, you guys, you know what? I have to take off.
All right, Amanda. Well, it's been good talking to you. It's always good to hear from you.
Frogs falling from the sky.
It's really nice talking to all you guys, too. I appreciate it every week.
All right. Well, you're welcome to come back anytime.
Thank you.
Right.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
Well, let's dive into a little topic here about.
Well, before we do that, if you want to keep up to date, with everything going on with Amanda, go ahead and pop over to her Facebook. That is Minnesota Cop Block on Facebook.
Yeah,
So,
we'll be right back with more Cop Block Radio after this.
Cabbage Patch, Cop Block Cabbage Patch.
This show's flowing right by. It's nice.
Yeah, right? Is Amanda still here?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't want to boot her.
Yeah, because that would be a secondary account that she can't use. So right now, American Furniture can call in.
Yeah, well, if it's just a glitch on her phone, it's no big deal because we're not hearing anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play the commercials, and we're coming back to our final segment, guys.
Oh shit! I didn't even realize it was that late.
That's what I'm saying. The night flew by.
Wow. Okay.
Let's just forget about continuing the discussion. We kind of covered it.
Okay, that's fine.
And we'll just jump to the last story.
That's Shaquille O'Neal, right?
What's that?
That's the Shaquille O'Neal story?
No, that's the Chicago cop stomps the guy.
Yeah, I thought that was Shaquille O'Neal. I thought that was his name.
Oh, is that his name? I don't even know.
Yeah, I thought this dude shared the same name as Shaq.
Yeah, that's his name. I'll be darned. Can you pull that video up, Matt?
Yeah, I'm doing it
I'll
right
send
now.
you the link. Oh, you have it?
I don't have it on, what do you call it, YouTube just yet, but I'm working on it. Boom. Got it.
Sweet.
It just takes...
Accusations of police.
And that is a 1-minute, 57-second video. On CBS News at 6.
How long's the video?
1 minute, 57 seconds.
All right. I will read it first, and then we'll
Okay.
jump into the video.
As long as you save us enough time to plug and all that shit.
Yep. All right. Commercial.
Friendly Realtor. Call Mark Warden of Team Porcupine Real Estate for investment property or rentals in the Free State. Or visit his website. Come on, you know it.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media, and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
I look up on internet and tried to research some stuff that everybody's been talking about. And, you know, it's all true.
What?
It's true.
What is?
Everything that's going on in this country.
The heck are you talking
Everything that you're talking about, I'm talking about 9/11.
We don't talk about that.
Everything.
Yeah, you're being incredibly vague.
I know what's going on. I mean, people get in an airplane and they talk about, well, they were talking on this plane and they were doing this and that, this and that.
I have no idea.
Airplanes
What is this
didn't
and
work
that?
back then.
What is this
So
and that?
how do-
You need to be a lot less vague, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything, Dale.
Everything
Everything is
going on.
true.
Everything is true. Okay, that's going on in this
Yes,
country.
what I'm trying to tell. Everything is true, but they will not.
Everything.
Free Talk Live. 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern. Live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip in on the right side of the page at LRN.FM.
We're back. This is Severin Freeman from Lehigh Valley Cop Block.
This is Matt Taylor of Carbon County Cop Block.
And this is Joshua Hodgkin of Iowa City Cop Block.
And was I the only one laughing at that commercial?
Not at all. I
That
was
was
here
pretty
cracking
funny.
up. Everything is true. 9/11.
That wasn't a commercial, guys. That was a real caller on Free Talk Live.
We need those people to call us.
Oh, man.
And if you want to, we are at the final segment of our show, but if you would like to call in and just say hey or talk about what we've talked about, anything tonight, you can catch us at 872-276-2525. That is 872-267-2525.
Well, we're going to end the night on a wildly brutal video that I believe the update to that, if rumor has it correctly, that nobody got in trouble. Everybody's all good. It's all cool.
Surprise, surprise.
Is my screen sharing properly?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so you can see the story?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, the footage shows an officer wrestling O'Neill to the street before another cop arrives and calls for backup as a crowd gathers and moves closer to the action. After about a minute into the struggle, the second officer can clearly be seen stomping the man's head. And I've seen this video, and it is a stomp. He looks like he's trying to crush the man's skull. The Chicago Fire Department said O'Neill was knocked unconscious as a result of the stomp and required being taken to Mount Sinai Hospital for treatment. He was released on Tuesday. It's not exactly clear how the narcotics investigation led the confrontation. Spokesmen for Chicago Police Department have only said that O'Neill was arrested because of the incident and has pending charges. They did not confirm that Independent Police Review Authority has launched an investigation into the video, and the department has stripped the offending officer of his police powers and placed him on desk duty. After careful consideration and reviewing the video footage, Superintendent Johnson has decided to relieve one of the officers of his police powers, said the spokesman. Since this appointment, the superintendent has stated accountability begins down to the last officer. Well, that's a bunch of BS. I'm 99% sure, I just heard earlier today, that the officer was fully reinstated and that they blamed the guy that was stopped. I might be wrong about that.
No,
but
I heard that. I saw that too. But we have a video for this. So do you guys want to watch tax dollars of Chicago hard at work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do this. This right here is government training.
Accusations of police brutality this morning against a Chicago officer.
This after a video surfaces on Facebook. CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli is live outside police headquarters where protesters demonstrated very early this morning. Hi, Mike.
Hi, yep. Those protesters actually converged on police headquarters after midnight last night. They're gone now, but the group arrived to show their displeasure over the latest viral video involving a Chicago police officer. A foot to the head. That is the incendiary moment in the latest controversial video. In the profanity-laced video, you can see an officer trying to arrest a 24-year-old man who's struggling underneath the officer. Now, we've turned down the sound because of the many expletives. But at one point, you can hear the officer ordering that the man not bite. Then another officer arrives and calls for backup. What's not clear is what led to the confrontation on West Crenshaw. Now, the initial contact, though, was part of a narcotics investigation, according to sources. About 39 seconds into the struggle, the second officer stomps on the man's head. Then the camera pulls out and starts to focus on the second officer's license plate. That as other officers respond to the scene and arrive to help out. Protesters say the officer used excessive force.
Man, I'm a little
Honestly,
disappointed.
If you ask me, I think it's the
Hold on
police that's
here.
behind many of the shootings.
I'm disappointed that this is the version we have tonight, because the version that I saw was the actual cell phone footage, and those people in that town were about to kill those cops. They all said, "You're marked for death. You're dead. You're dead." And I wanted to hit on that because that town was furious, the entire block. They were like, "Yo, you're dead, homie. You're dead. You're dead. You're marked." That's why they had all those cops fly in there like that, because they were about to get killed right there. They just stomped on their boy right in front of them, in front of the entire town.
That's going to be the turning point, I think, eventually, is one of these times, like, the people in the community viewing this are going to fight back, and they're going to fight back hard, and it's going to just be a little spark that turns into flames that spread throughout, you know?
It's going to be ugly is what it's going to be. I mean, I'm afraid for the wet, like, the atmosphere that's out there right now. It's cop versus people. And a lot, like, there's at least one stop a day that turns hostile as far as people yelling and saying, "Get the hell out of here," and things like that. Like, cops are no longer welcome in communities. People are afraid of them. That's the version.
Get back! Back! Man, we did behind the back. What y'all doing? Don't you fight me. Come on, man. You just pushed the man.
Watch this dude.
Yeah, I am called back. For one more. Y'all scary as hell. 39.
Yeah, I'm calling back too.
Get the back. Get the back. Hey, don't worry about it. I'm gonna whack that one. Hold this, bro. Get the phone out. I get it. Get his license plate, sir. Hey, get your knee out. I'm trying to get out. Damn, that you're supposed to put your mouth in their knees in his face and everything. Hey, y'all some bitches, y'all gonna die. Y'all gonna end up dead. All that gonna end up dead. Yeah. He just picked on you. Yo, put your hands on your heart. He kicked him off. Get out of here. That's why.
And that right there is why cop supporters are wrong. I don't care what you have to say. The communities hate them. Every single community that has seen something like that hates them. And it's worse every day because it happens every day on our streets. These people are bullies and thugs. They don't know anything else but to hurt people and lock them in cages. They do not know conflict level resolution. They do not know how to have conversation or how to be normal human beings to one another.
Nope.
There was just a story where cops broke out into a fight in their own station and pepper sprayed each other.
God, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that one.
I just read about that earlier today. They can't even control each other around each other.
No, I called dibs on the sprinkles.
And here's the other thing. Here's something. If we have any cop supporters out there listening right now, here's what you need to know is I know lots of former cop supporters and their children, their brothers, their sisters, their husbands, their wives were killed by police, and it all came crashing down in one moment. An entire lifetime of belief came crashing down in the same moment that they had to deal with mourning for the death of a loved one. So look into this and get it straight before that happens to you, because you can't imagine how many lives are torn up, not just by the deaths, but like by having to realize all this all in the same breath.
Well,
Absolutely.
we're going to wrap up for the night. It's been a great show, guys. This is Severin Freeman. You can find me at Lehigh Valley Cop Block on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Just Google Lehigh Valley Cop Block. You'll find me somewhere.
And I am Matt of Carbon County Cop Block. You can find me on Facebook at Carbon County Cop Block, and as well on Monday nights on YouTube at Cop Blast Podcasts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, or 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And I am Joshua Scott Hodgkin. You can find me all over the internet, but just look up Joshua Scott Hodgkin on Facebook, and I have a page, and everything that I write and do ends up there.
And make sure you go to copblock.org/store. There's a sale going on right now for long sleeve shirts. They've been discontinued, apparently. I'm disappointed. I like the long sleeve shirts, but if you like the long sleeve shirts, you better get them now because they're discontinued, and I believe they're on discount right now, correct?
Fire! Sale.
Yeah,
Everything must go.
I believe he's dropped the price down to our cost, basically, so...
Nice. Well, I might have to go in there and buy one of those.
Absolutely.
And the final message for the night, make sure you use a live streaming service, guys. When you're out, don't film from your phone. If you can do Facebook live stream, if you can live stream using some other app, Bamboozer, Cell 411, whatever you want to use, it's so much safer because if they confiscate your stuff, it's on an outside source. Please be safe out there, guys. Remember, Film the Police. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Cop Block Radio. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Take it easy, guys.
Peace out, folks.